Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 31 of Brat Said That. I am your host, Brat Jackson, with my co-producer, Chad LGBT. We are so excited for this Friday night edition of BST. That is right. How is everybody's week? How is everybody plans for the weekend? I am excited. I got Zuffa Boxing, the debut episode of Zuffa Boxing, right next to me. I can't show it because of copyrights, but right now we got Diaz versus Gutierrez. So, shout out to Zuffa Boxing. Finally, after all these years of Dana White talking about Zuffa Boxing, it is happening. He has done it. So, still the prelims, but, you know, the main card is going to happen later today. So, I am excited. I got a little bit of snow in the background. We don't get snow in Vegas, so I figured, you know, since the East Coast is going to get hit with a snowstorm, I figured, you know, why not have a little bit of ambiance, okay? And it makes a good background screen. One thing, too, before I start, we always got to make sure we are live. We're going to go on for a little bit long tonight. I'm excited. I see myself. We are live. One thing, me and Babe, we had a very productive day. We went out, did some errands, and I got a haircut. Oh, yeah. Shaggy dude, that shaggy look, you know? First off, I was in this at the end of the show, but since we're talking about the new haircut, shout out to Sports Clips, okay? I would love for them to be a sponsor of this show. The lady I got the haircut from, amazing, great, one of the greatest haircuts of all time, okay? Like, she was nice. She was a Cowboys fan, but besides that, she, like, cut my hair. We were talking about sports. She called Babe my wife, which is great. I didn't correct her. Neither of us corrected her. You know, and then, you know, we were talking, and then she's like, oh, we're going to shampoo your hair. And we went back there, and she put, like, this nice mint rag on my face. And, like it was great. And then she massaged. She gave me, like, a massage with, like, a massage gun. And I was like, all right, well, I've never had this during a haircut. And it was, like, $27. Gave her a tip. Nice. In and out. Perfect. But, yeah. But besides all of that, you know, we need to start off with talking about wrestling. And in just 8 days, guys, 8 days, ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls, the Royal Rumble will be here. I am excited. I've said this every show. They're doing more promotion now. We're getting more entrants. We're getting more matches. We're getting more rumbly. And really, I'm excited. I said, you know, I think one of us, Joey Fresh asked me who I thought was going to win. I still said Roman Reigns. But now that Cody's not the WWE champion, I don't know. I don't know. But that's good. Because some Rumbles, some years, it's like, you know who's going to win. You know. But, you know, we'll talk more about the Rumble. You know, AJ Styles versus Gunther. The men's and women's Rumble. I haven't talked much about the women's Rumble. You know, everybody's talking about Bianca Belair coming back. It would be great to see Bianca win. I think she won the 2021. You know, that women's division's kind of a little up in the air. You know, you got Jade Cargill, and then you have Stephanie Vasquez. So, we'll see. We'll see. We're going to have a great time. We're going to do it live. We're going to go in the living room, folks. We're going to move to the living room. I'm going to have the podcast, the tripod set all up. Have some snacks, maybe some Cheez-Its, Coke Zero, not the healthiest, but hey, it's a Rumble, baby. But before the Rumble happens, we got to get through Saturday night's main event, and that's going to take place tomorrow night. 3-match card so far. Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky Rio versus Judgment Day, Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. Tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. And then we have that fatal 4-way with Randy Orton, Trick Williams, Damian Priest, and Sami Zayn. Winner moves on to face Drew McIntyre at the Rumble. It's in Montreal, kids. It's got to be Sami Zayn. Now, I know I always say, if it's in your hometown, you're usually going to lose. But Sami Zayn in Montreal, it's a match made in Canada, you know? So, I'm excited for that. Any little preview can happen. Tomorrow night might change the trajectory of the Royal Rumble itself. Yeah. So I definitely see Sami Zayn winning tomorrow. I do want to. I have the SmackDown preview. Maybe things change. I'm not watching SmackDown. It's only 5:00 on this coast. So the SmackDown preview tonight. The Wyatt Six will face MFT for the WWE Tag Team Championship. That those two factions have been fighting forever. But it's time for a new title change, okay? I don't know what they're doing with the tag team division. Tag teams are always the bread and butter of, you need to have a good tag team division. Some tag team specialists, the Young Bucks, look at them. As single wrestlers, I don't think they've really ever had any single runs. Wyatt Six are a great faction. Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, Nikki Cross, Bo Dallas, which is Uncle Howdy, and Dexter Lumis. I love their gimmick. Rest in peace, Bray. And then MFT, Solo's kind of created his own thing. Jeff Cobb, really cool. I like Jeff Cobb. I met Jeff Cobb. I've actually grappled with Jeff Cobb. And he is literally the strongest person in the world. And he was so nice, too. We were at a training session at Syndicate. And me and my other best friend Cameron, we were kind of talking, split apart, get your partner. And then Jeff Cobb kind of came over. He's like, hey, can I join you guys? I was like, absolutely, Jeff Cobb. You can join us anytime you want. You beast. So, I don't know if they're going to be, Jeff Cobb and, Tama Tonga or Tangaloa or Lou Vega. I don't know. But time to take off the titles, MFT. Then you have Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax and Lash Legend, and Julia and Kiana James. Those are going to be the number one contenders. To find out who's going to be the number one contender. Charlotte, Alexa had their tag team titles. I don't remember if Nia and Lash ever held the titles. And Julia and Kiana James. Listen, Julia, isn't she the United States Women's Champion? Right? So she can be holding double belts. Let me see, Julia, right? These title changes, some title changes are quick. Some title changes or last forever. But that's the problem when you have 30,000 championships on your roster. But that's going to happen tonight. Cody Rhodes is going to be interviewed about Jacob Fatu. They're going to face tomorrow night at Sunday night's main event. That's a good match. Damian Priest is set to collide with Trick Williams. Now, this is where I don't like, okay? Because you have Damian Priest and Trick Williams. 2 out of the 4 competitors in tomorrow's Fatal 4-Way. I don't, why are you going to wrestle when you have to wrestle tomorrow? That's not fair. They might get hurt. Randy Orton, Sami Zayn, they don't got to wrestle. I'm sure there'll be some, Randy Orton, Sami Zayn interaction in that match, but, yeah. I don't think that's very fair between Damian Priest and Trick Williams. But, And then Jade Cargill is looking to bring the Storm to Chelsea Green. I got this off WWE.com, so any corny puns are not my corny puns. Hey, if they need somebody to put a good match out of Jade Cargill, it's Chelsea Green. I mean, I might be a little biased because I love Chelsea Green, but, she's doing great. She's been the A+ superstar, the backbone of SmackDown, the women's division, even the show for a very, very, very long time. And Carmelo Hayes issues a United States Championship Open Challenge. I love this tradition. Keep it going. Sami Zayn, Ilya Dragunov, now Carmelo Hayes. Yeah, so that's SmackDown. I don't, let's see, it's 5 o'clock here. Then I don't know if it's happening now. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I can look at results as it's happening. I mean, it's only 10 minutes in. Let's see. Nothing's ever been posted just yet. So we still got some time. We still got some time to figure things out. Because SmackDown, it just is. What is that? Hold on. Hold on, my phone's ringing. I love how it still rings after I pick it up. Hello? Oh, we're doing this again? We're going to do this segment every week? Okay, fine. What do you want to talk about? What? Okay. Really? Today? Really? Okay, I'll let them know. Okay, bye. Alright, so that was the phone from the past. Wanted me to bring up today's day in history. And it is a very special day in history. Today, January 23rd, 1984, Madison Square Garden, Hulkamania was born. You remember Hulk Hogan? He defeated the Iron Sheik. If you ever watch that match, go look at the Iron Sheik. He's got a hard on when he has him in the camel clutch. And Hulk Hogan took this promotion, took this sport, took professional wrestling to another level. Mainstream. WrestleMania was born because Hulkamania was born. So, shout out. I love Hulk Hogan. I know the end of his life wasn't very well liked. He said some things he shouldn't have said. I'm not going to condone that, or I'm not going to repeat that. But we wouldn't be here without Hulk Hogan. And that's just a fact, okay? Let's be honest. There wouldn't be 41 WrestleManias without Hulk Hogan. There wouldn't be the greatest heel turn in history. That happened, it's going to be 30 years since that heel turn. And it's still the greatest. We've had heel turns in the past. This last year with John Cena. Great heel turn. Horrible storyline. CM Punk. Everybody doing heel turns. Nothing matches Stone Cold and the NWO. Not Stone Cold. Hulk Hogan and the NWO. Which is funny. I did bring up Stone Cold. Did you know, fun fact, little fun fact, that the NWO and the Austin 316 speech only happened like 3 weeks apart. So, shout out to 96. Now, 96, if you can go back in time, great year, go Bulls. I think the Braves, no, the Yankees won the World Series. Right, 96, yeah, so, Derek Jeter. But Hulk Hogan, January 23rd, 1984, what's your favorite Hulk Hogan match? How do you feel about Hulk Hogan? I know, but he's deceased, so we need to, look at the good stuff. I went to Hulk Hogan's beach shop when I went to Florida a couple years ago. It was great. That's where I got my WCW tank top from Bassett Beach 96. So, so that is a little date in history. Last time we did it was about the Super Bowl. So we're going to do that segment every Thursday or every non-Monday show or Tuesday show. But one person who I do want to talk about is Tommaso Ciampa. We all know Ciampa. Great defender. I hate this connection. He decided he's going to leave WWE. Former NXT Tag Team Champion. Really great NXT champion. I'm pretty sure his feuds with Johnny Gargano were some of the best right before COVID happened. Dude was shredded. Dude had one of the best physiques in wrestling. So he decided, it's time to go. I think he's going to go back on the independents. Would be great to see him in AEW. Would be great. He's definitely one of those guys where, we need, something good. Tommaso. So, good luck to Tommaso in his future. I always enjoyed Tommaso Ciampa. When he came out holding the belt, I think he called it his belt Goldie or something. And, he's great. Which is a fun fact, another FF. If you watch Tough Enough 1, there was a competitor, I don't remember her name, but she actually went on to marry Tommaso Ciampa and they have a daughter together. So I think her name was Jenny, Jackie, Vicky. I should look that up. But, so that, Tommaso Ciampa is going to succeed wherever he goes. Sometimes it's time to leave. That's really all it is. Let me see what I want to put a little respect on her name. Jessie Ward. There you go. I was close. But so Tommaso Ciampa, actually, since I have it up, we'll look at it. his contract expired. He's going to move on. Two-time NXT champion and considered a defining part of the NXT's black and gold period. Absolutely. Only 40, so he's still got, time left. The Cruiserweight Classic, especially you remember that NXT Tag Team Championship match against the Revival in 2016. He's from Boston, so he was doing great. So now it's just time to move on. He's joined the WWE back in 2016 when he started in the Cruiserweight Classic. And, DIY went on, and then even just a couple years with him and Johnny Gargano on SmackDown. So, yeah, 10-year tenure with WWE. So he's going to move on, do some great things. He's a great addition. If you're an independent booker, try to book the guy. But yeah, speaking about somebody who we just talked about Tommaso leaving, we have somebody joining WWE now. Royce Keys. Now, who's Royce Keys? Apparently, that is Powerhouse Hobbs. Yes, he left AEW. He's going to come to WWE. And he might go under the name Royce Keys. A lot of people are like, Royce Keys, that's a silly name. Or Royce Keys, why did they name the black guy Royce? Their words, not mine. It's a name. Names happen. I kind of always thought, we're just used to Powerhouse Hobbs. If it was Royce Keys in AEW and we were used to that, he'll come over to WWE as Powerhouse Hobbs. We'd be like, that's a silly name. But, yeah, he's going to do great on the main roster. I don't think you should put him on, main roster. Well, I did say put him with the New Day. Or, I don't know. But definitely a great addition to the WWE. He's still young, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I can look that up, too. I like doing, just looking stuff up. Zuffa Boxing still going on. It's a round 7 or 8 between Diaz and Gutierrez. Yeah, so pretty much Royce Keys. I don't know if maybe he debuted on SmackDown already. I don't know. It's announced that he's going to come. How old was he? Why are you not figuring this out? He's 35, so hey, he's a 90s kid. So 3 kids, wow. So he's going to be a great addition to the WWE and whatever he does. Let's see, started in 2009, APW Wrestling School, Haywood, California, Team Taz, Don Callis family. So, it's good now that we got some new blood in WWE. Speaking about somebody joining, former NJPW champion Evil. Yes, he is rumored to join WWE too. So it looks like a lot of new additions from everywhere is joining the company. It's going to be a fun year for 2026, especially with the Rumble, all these debuts or rumored debuts or comebacks. We're going to talk about the Rumble next week, give our predictions. I might even have a whole Rumble sheet of who I think is going to enter, who I want to enter, who I want to win. And then we're going to do the live. I keep talking about the Rumble, because it is really the best time of the wrestling year. And that leads up to WrestleMania, which is going to be down the street. Before we move on, I do want to give a shout out to the hardcore legend, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Mick Foley, for dropping over 100 pounds weight. What a amazing accomplishment by Mick Foley. He's getting up there in age, he's getting up there in health. So he's one of my favorites. I can talk about Mick Foley all day. Long Island guy, one of my favorites. Do love Cactus Jack, Mankind, Mick Foley. Loves Christmas. We all remember '98. I was just watching it yesterday. Cactus Jack comes out, gets eliminated. Then you got Mankind coming out, he gets eliminated. Dude Love comes out. 3 Faces of Foley. His match against Randy Orton at Backlash 2004, one of my favorites of all time, top 5. Hell in a Cell, hardcore legend. And yeah, so shout out for him. Maybe he'll make his Royal Rumble return. Who knows? That would be great. Okay, Powerhouse Hobbs, you gotta go. Before I move on, I do want to talk about AEW signing some young, good athletes, Jordan Oliver and Alec Price. If you watch GCW, I know Jordan Oliver's from there. I think Alec Price is too. Made their Dynamite debuts facing FTR. So the future in AEW, it's a good time to be a wrestling fan. Now, I know as a wrestling fan, we are kind of the most crucial, critical. You give us what we want, then we complain about it. You don't give us what you want, we'll complain about it. It's if you don't, and damn it you do, whatever it's called. So, it's good to see, other people getting their time on TV. They're both young kids, so, I'll definitely have to check them out. Something I did check out, the second episode of TNA, much better than the first. Much better than the first episode on AMC. It went very well. They're doing that feast and fired. I like the concept. You get 4 briefcases. One has a world championship shot, the other has a tag team shot, and then an exhibition shot and a fired shot. So, so that's always like, what's going to happen. It's been going on for a few years now. And then we did talk about like the whole AEW Rascals debacle about Trey Miguel not being part of AEW. Well, now he's back in TNA, and he's got a briefcase. So that was a big shock, surprise. So that's what they're doing with Trey Miguel. He's got one of the briefcases. I don't remember who else has it. I can look. Hold on. Feast or Fired briefcases 2026. Let's see. Yeah, because I do remember, Curryman 1-1 got fired. 2026, Eric Young, Steve Macklin, Trey Miguel, and Eddie Edwards. So, I don't know if... so I'm not going to spoil it, but it looks like I can see who won what and who got what. We'll have to check out. Last one was 2023. I know Chris Bay won an Impact World Tag Team Championship match. And so I think it aired already. I'm not going to spoil anything. But if you want spoilers. This is on Wikipedia, so I'm not too sure how reliable this is. Let me move on to... when I say me, I mean my co-producer, Chad LGBT. Let's see, is this... Oh, it's not going to show me on this. So, if I'm right, then we have breaking news, spoilers. This is spoilers, by the way. Spoilers. Eddie Edwards gets a TNA World Championship match. Trey Miguel gets a TNA X Division Championship match. Steve Macklin, TNA International Championship match. And Eric Young gets a pink slip. So, Eric Young joins... So tough for that. So I like it. I really like these, I love anything where it's like a cash-in. I gotta open this. Hold on. We're ready? 25 minutes in and we're not even on to boxing. Oh, we're gonna have a late show tonight, folks. Hell yeah. But yeah, the AMC on the TNA on AMC did very well. And before we move on to the MMA, we got so much to talk about in the MMA UFC section. MLW, Major League Wrestling, another fun show. Their Battle Riot number 8, which is their Rumble, is set for January 29th. It's their version of the Royal Rumble. We can look at the winners. MLW, Battle Riot. Let's see. I know, let's see. Last year was won by Matt Riddle. Then Matt Riddle won it the year before that too. Alex Kane, Jacob Fatu, Alexander Hammerstone, L.A. Park, and Tom Lawler. So this one is happening in Kissimmee, Florida. And 40-man Battle Riot. Killer Cross is announced to it. Paul London. Bishop Dyer, who... I gotta talk about that. Bishop Dyer, Baron Corbin. He was in like a dark match in AEW. Sign the dude. Sign the guy. Don't make him have to do all these hoops and loops, okay? Sign the guy. Austin Aries, Anthony Green, Matt Riddle, Wolfgang, Donovan Dijak. So I would definitely be checking that out. Because, like I said, not just the WWE Royal Rumble. any type of those Rumbles, Battle Riot, Stone Brawl, Royal Rumble, those kind of matches I love. Because you never know, especially in like MLW, who's going to come out. But yeah, it is Rumble season, guys. I'm telling you. But we're going to move on. Half an hour WWE. I love it. Fresh kiss. But this is what we're going to talk about. Like I said, Zuffa Boxing is underway. Got it right next to me. Max Ornelius from Covina, California. Shout out to Fidel Bravo. I think he's from West Covina. Zuffa Boxing underway. I'm watching it now. Got the snow. Great. Tomorrow, UFC is back. That is right. UFC is back. What did I say? UFC is back. I think that's from Independence Day. I need to get like a soundboard. I do have one, but I don't know how to set it up. Anyway, UFC is back. UFC 324. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. We're gonna go over the main card. I got it all written out. Starting with, let's start from the bottom. Make our way up to the top. In the opening fight of the main card, Arnold Allen, 20-3, hasn't fought since 2024, July, in a decision win, is facing Gene Silva. He's coming off a Fight of the Year nominee with Diego Lopez in September. He's looking to bounce back. But he did a cardinal sin. He grabbed the championship belt without winning it. We've seen that happen. It's a little kind of, it's a little bit, you don't do that. But, I'm going to give my thoughts of who's going to win after I read the main card. So, Arnold Allen, Gene Silva, 145 featherweight. Then we got Natalie Silva versus Doug Rose Namajunas. Doug Rose, always entertaining, former two-time strawweight champion. Coming off a win, but she kind of bounces back and forth. It really is kind of like, I'm going to win this big fight, lose this big fight, then I'm going to win a couple fights, gets right there to that championship contender once again, then loses. But she's tough for nails. I'll give her that. Doug Rose, some of the best highlights, knockouts for a person with her stature, knocking out people, submitting people. Her championship days might be behind her, but we will see. She is facing, though, Natalie Silva. She's 19-5-1, 7-0 in the UFC. Okay, she's already defeated former champions Jessica Andrade and Alexa Grasso. She's got a lot of decisions on her record, but she's on a 12-fight win streak. I wrote this all out, so I'm reading what I wrote. Okay, I didn't actually chat LGBT. He was too busy. Ooh, hello. Then you got a fight I'm really looking forward to. Heavyweight division, Waldo Cortez Acosta, 16-2, coming off big, 2 quick knockouts in November. Fought November 1st, and I think he fought November 29th. Then he's facing the Black Beast, Derek Lewis, 29-12-1, coming off 2 TKO stoppages. Last fought July, 35 seconds. 35 seconds. I think that's a long time. That's what I always tell Babe. But that's a quick fight. Most knockouts in UFC history. One of the most entertaining fighters inside the cage, outside the cage. His post-fight interviews are amazing. His balls are going to be hot. So we're going to see. Then the co-main event, the new co-main event, Sugar Sean O'Malley has a big following. Not my kind of guy, but 18-3, former UFC bantamweight champion. Coming off back-to-back losses against Marab. One decision, then a north-south choke. So he's really looking to bounce back. Because if he wants to once again become UFC bantamweight champion, his opponent, Song Yadong, is the kind of guy who's going to be like, no. Song Yadong, 22-8-1, bounces back and forth like Rose, wins a couple, loses one. From Team Alpha Male, legendary team. We know Uriah Faber, Cody Garbrandt, TJ Dillashaw, Danny Castillo, Justin Buchholz. So that's a team that's always fun to watch. And in the main event, just in the highlight, Gaethje You know his resume. You've seen him fight. One of the greatest fighters, one of the most entertaining fighters, one of the hard-hitted fighters of all time. Versus Paddy Pimblett, 23-3, 7-0 in the UFC. What a main fight that's gonna be. I'll give you my predictions right now. Now, remember, when I give my predictions, always pick the other ones because I can't predict for shit. But I do want to say, I think Gene Silva is going to defeat Arnold Allen. Natalie Silva is going to defeat Thug Rose. Derek Lewis is going to once again get another knockout. Sugar Sean O'Malley is going to beat Song Yadong. And Paddy Pimblett is going to beat Gaethje. And that fight is for the interim UFC Lightweight Championship. UFC is back. Remember, Paramount Plus for free. You no longer have to pay $60 for pay-per-view. I am so glad I don't have to do that anymore. But, it's going to be a great card. It starts at 6 on the West Coast, 9 on the East Coast. They pushed up an hour. I do want to talk about that before. One thing, I got a lot of family, friends, some of the greatest people I grew up with on the East Coast. I love the East Coast. I'm East Coast through and through. But damn, living on the Western Coast, Western side of the United States, waking up 10 a.m. football, 1 p.m. football, 5 o'clock football, over at 9. UFC starts 7 o'clock, over at 10. Don't have to wait till 2 a.m. for a fight to end. Wrestling 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So that is great. I remember when I last went to New York, I was like, we have to wait till 1 o'clock to watch a football game? Hell no. Sunday mornings, I wake up 10 a.m. Football's on. So it is great. Paramount Plus, check it out. I got the UFC Zuffa Boxing on. I do want to talk about something very exciting. So, as you know, I partnered with bodyslam.net. I've been a contributor. I was thinking about, applying for, press credentials. And they're like, okay, well, who do you use? So I talked to the guy in charge of Body Slam. And he's like, yeah, of course. For the brand, yeah, do this. So I filled it out. I'm waiting to see about an application applying for there. So if I get press credentials, this show will go to another level. That's Babe's cooking right there. Aww. Babe, you okay? Okay. Penny hates that. She's an older dog. So when that happens, it used to happen when we lived with my mother. That used to happen, and she would hate that. She would scurry. But, so press credentials, I'll update on that. I would love to go to, a Zuffa Boxing, kind of, I don't know, interview the fighters. I'm not a very great interviewer. I'm trying to be a better talker. I'm not very pretty. I don't have the look, But a few UFC updates. This morning, they have the UFC weigh-ins for 324. Cameron Smothermann, very scary. He made weight. When he walked up the scale, he collapsed face first. He's fine now, but the fight with him, and I think it was Ricky Tercios, is off. So, scary thing for Cameron. So I'm glad he's okay. The fight, but yeah, it was scary. You don't ever want to see that. These weight cuts, man. I don't cut weight. I got a lot of weight, but I don't cut it. But I can't imagine what it's like cutting 20, 30 pounds. I watch these Ultimate Fighter seasons. It's like, oh, I got to fight tomorrow. I'm 192. I got to cut down to 170. He's like, what are you doing? What? Jeez. But, yeah. So, also, I do got a few things that I'm talking about before I move on. Tisha Tornado Torres left the UFC after 10 years. A 12-year career. She was on the Tough 20, I think it was, when it was crowning a new strawweight champion. One of those fighters never got to the championship. She's married to former UFC featherweight champion Raquel Pennington. But she had a great career. She started in UFC in 2014, goes 7-1, loses to Rose, goes 10-1, loses to Andrade, Joanna, Zhang, and Marina Rodriguez on 4-fight losing streak. Loses to Dern, Ricci, hasn't. So, I know she's going the Metalhood thing, so always a fighter, more of like a decision fighter. No 1 win by knockout, 1 win by submission, 13 wins by decision. So, yeah. She is gonna go, bye, I guess. I don't know. But I do want to talk about this. Somebody who I'm not getting very fond of. And that's former UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland. Now, Sean Strickland and when I say I trained at the same gym as Sean Strickland, he trained at the gym. I was there just doing classes. Okay, I've never interacted with the guy. But he's very politically different than I am. And he brought in Kyle Rittenhouse. If you don't know who Kyle Rittenhouse is, he just go look it up. I'm not going to talk about him. But I'm going to talk about him in this sense. Sean Strickland brought Kyle Rittenhouse to Extreme Couture, another Las Vegas-based gym. Chris Curtis, who once said that he's not going to grapple me because I'm not on his level. That hurt. He was like, why you bring this guy into my gym? Sean was supposed to be best friends. This guy represents things he doesn't represent. And, Sean Strickland, he's very vocal outside of the cage. Inside the cage, it's kind of a different story. But, yeah, it's a shitty thing. Don't do that. Kyle Rittenhouse is kind of, to some he's a martyr, to some he's a piece of shit. And to me, he is just a young kid who did something horrible and got away with it. So, yeah. I don't know. They're just MMA news. And I think Chris Curtis has every right to feel that way. Especially Sean Strickland, who is... he says stupid shit. He does stupid shit. He's kind of making himself as a meme, Like... doesn't back up what he says. He says he's going to kill you and fight you to the death, but inside the ring or the octagon, he's more of a T-punch. But yeah. So F both those guys. That's really what I can say. So that is the UFC for the, we got UFC Zuffa Boxing. I should have to go UFC Zuffa Boxing. It's Zuffa Boxing. Still going on. Trinidad versus Ornelas. I can't pronounce it, but yeah. So that is the UFC 324. I'm excited for it. Can't wait. Gave my predictions. NFL, the conference championship is Sunday. I cannot wait. Okay. Broncos, Patriots, Seahawks, Rams. 2 of those 4 teams are going to go to the Super Bowl. Now, got to remember, Broncos, Bo Nix is out. Injured his ankle. Jarrett Stidham is in. Oh, McGrady. Who's this guy with the haircut? This handsome man over here. McGrady, I got some snow in the background just for you and the East Coasters. Yeah, so I'm excited. Listen, okay. Chad LGBT went 4 for 4 on the divisional round. I want to personally see the Broncos versus Rams, something new, something fresh. But either way, it's the Super Bowl. They're going to do great. It's going to be a great game anyway. I hope so. But Bo Nix is out. Jarrett Stidham is in. That is the backup of, so if you're the Patriots, you shouldn't be worried. Broncos, you've been doing so good all year. Seahawks versus Rams are going to be a great game. I really like Puka Nacua for the Rams, so I'd like to see him move on. Seahawks, Seattle, never been there. Would like to always go to Seattle. Either way, I don't care. Super Bowl. But one thing, though. Former QB Phillip Rivers is interviewing for the Buffalo Bills head coach position. So, if you're Buffalo Bills, Phillip Rivers, you know him. Just played a game a couple weeks ago. Now he's looking to be a coach. It would be something intriguing, A head coach position, like I said, a carousel. One coach goes here and becomes an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach. A lot of changes in the NFL. Definitely now that it is in the later, obviously, season. I don't know if Philip Rivers ever had any head coach experience, but, we all remember 2004, got drafted by the Giants, went to the Chargers, made a career in the Chargers, got traded for Eli. But I do want to talk about one thing I'm excited about. We need the sound effect. We need what is that sound effect? Breaking news, happy news, hit it. That is right. Fernando Mendoza has officially declared himself for the NFL draft. Fernando Mendoza is going to be your Las Vegas Raiders next quarterback in April when we draft him first. Don't mess this up, okay? I am a Raiders fan. Been a Raiders fan since 2002, okay? We have nothing to look forward to. Every year, it's the same shit. Now we got this young kid, just won the Natty, just won the Heisman. He is going to hopefully change this franchise around, get a new head coach. Mike Tomlin, maybe. Somebody of some... Listen, it's hard to be a Raiders head coach. We'll be honest, okay? It is. It's scary, okay? But it's I gotta look something up. Okay. So I had to look it up for my next segment. But, he declared he will be there April. We're going to all talk about it. Mendoza. Number one pick, Las Vegas Raiders. Brady likes him. Davis likes him. I like him. So that's really all you need. But that will still be in April. We still got a few months away between that is official. But going to Islanders game Saturday before the snow gimmick. Well, be careful. Islanders, they're playing... Where do they play now? Are they still back in Nassau Coliseum? Or are they in the Belmont? New York Islanders. Oh, they play in Elmont. Now, I wish you played in Nassau Coliseum because I used to drive by Nassau Coliseum every day on my way to college. So, I'm a Nassau kind of guy, Farmingdale. Oh, a cute thing, McGrady. Me and Babe, we were at Costco, and we were driving in the parking lot, and we see somebody with a Farmingdale music sticker, and it brought me close to home. So, anyways. The NFL nominees are going to be out. The NFL nominee... Sometimes I lose power, and it's not a connection. So, NFL nominees are out. Go check it out. I had the whole... okay, I do got the finalists. I'm not going to go over all of them, but I'll go over, the MVP, just because, it's usually up to Matthew Stafford from the Rams, Drake May from the Patriots. Those two are cutting it close. 37-year-old, 23-year-old Christian McCaffrey from the 49ers, Trevor Lawrence from the Jaguars. So, I like the award show. The award show is going to be hosted by Jon Hamm. Yeah, that worked out perfectly. So, that Jon Hamm is that guy that you always see in that one viral video with the blue. So, it's going to be hosted by Jon Hamm. All right, enough of that. But, so check it out. It's going to be February 5th before the Super Bowl, or the week before the Super Bowl. I love it. I watch the monologues every year. I think Conan did one. Key from Key and Peele did one. So always a fun section. McGrady, we already talked about wrestling. The Royal Rumble is happening. I know you're a huge baseball fan. I don't know if you're still in here. Hall of Fame has been announced. Carlos Beltran and Andruw Jones are joining Jeff Kent in the Hall of Fame this year. I do have the ballot right in front of me. Now, for funsie, I posted my own ballot on my Twitter page, so check it out. Carlos Beltran, Andruw Jones. Beltran, 4th year on the ballot, 84.2%. All you got to do is get 75%. Andruw Jones, 78.4%. Chase Utley came in 3rd, 59.1%, up 19%. His 3rd year on the ballot. A Hall of Famer, I don't care what you say, Andy Pettit should be in the Hall of Fame. Okay? 48.5%, up 20%. 8th year on the ballot. You get 10 years on the ballot. Felix Hernandez, up 25%. A-Rod, little bit of approval. I would have put A-Rod in the Hall of Fame. And then Manny, 10th year, didn't get it. So no Manny Ramirez. He's off the ballot. Then the first year ballots didn't get any. Daniel Murphy, Howie Kendrick, Gio Gonzalez. If you don't get, I think, 5%, you're off the ballot forever. So next year, I do like to do my own little fantasy kind of world. So I did my own ballot. I've done my ballot for the Hall of Fame every year since the first year the ballot has happened. So if I can go here, go to the ammo. If you could see my computer, you'd be like, you spend so much time doing this. And I do. So for my Hall of Fame in 2025, okay, that is Home Run Derby, Hall of Fame. My Hall of Fame class of 2025, if I can get it to scroll, is... Oh, wait, no, I didn't do 2026 yet. Never mind. I didn't do 2026. So, I gotta do 2026. But last year I did Ichiro, CC, Felix Hernandez, Dustin Pedroia, and Bartolo Colon. 5. 5 is a good number. But yeah, I like to have fun, make fantasy worlds. And yeah, so they are now moving on to the Hall of Fame. Jeff Kent, Manny Ramirez, last time on the ballot. But rumors, Mets added Bo Bichette, adding Luis Robert Jr., helped us in Chicago. I mean, not helped us, we suck. But he's moving on to the Mets. If you're a Mets fan, McGrady, I think you're a Mets fan, or you're a New Yorker. Shout out to them. And then, I'm looking forward to it. Athletics' $2 billion stadium project in Las Vegas is on the way. So, NBA, LeBron, we talked about it last week. First time in 22 years, not named a starter. He said he's not disappointed and he's still going to be selected for the All-Star game. He'll be a reserve. Come on now. 22nd All-Star appearance. Stop it. Dude's the greatest of all time, and I don't care what you said. Here's the thing with LeBron. LeBron is better. He's the greatest basketball player of all time. But you have people that don't allow history to be changed. No, Jordan's the best, no matter what. Jordan. And I understand that. But LeBron's beat Jordan, in every category. LeBron's got 42,000 points. I know he lost 8 out of 11 NBA Finals, but he still went to 11 freaking Finals. He led the Heat. He led the Cavs. He led the Lakers. LeBron's the best, okay? We're going to do a quick look at the standings. Pistons still doing good. Knicks, Celtics, the Mavericks, they're not doing good. Oh, they got 4 in a row. What am I saying? They're doing great. Let's go to the finals. So Thunder is still on top. Spurs right there. But, NHL, the trade deadline is March. We're not really a big NHL show, like I say. But The Olympics are coming up, Winter Olympics. It's going to be NHL players to play in the Olympics for the first time since 2014. So that's exciting. We like the Olympics, you know. Michael Phelps and Shaun White. Nothing really happening in NCAA football or basketball. I did do a shout out to Sports Clips. So they did the haircut. Shout out to them. East Coast Winter Blitz. We talked about two things I want to talk about. So this is spoilers. One of my favorite shows. Constantly on. Constantly watching old reruns, and the new season of Hell's Kitchen just ended. Yes. Hell's Kitchen, Gordon Ramsay. Out of the whole Ramsay-verse, Hell's Kitchen is my favorite by far. They did Battle of the States, and the winner was Ellie from Nevada. She won it. She beat Jada from Florida. So Babe was rooting for Ellie. I was rooting for Jada because of my Florida roots. But I love Hell's Kitchen. It's my favorite. I don't know nothing. I'm a mac and cheese and hot dog kind of guy. Okay. So all their fancy little this and that and that and this, I don't know. But it was great. I love it. This year they did a Battle of the States, which, you know, they always seem to... Gordon's been kind of on a trend lately. Like, last season was head chefs only. Then before that, it was like Young Guns or like rookies versus veterans. Now it's Battle of the States. But Ellie won. It was great to see her. You know, she represented Vegas. She is from Las Vegas, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, she won. Beat Jada. Great. I love it. You know, I love Hell's Kitchen. It stinks that I'm going to have to wait till September to watch it again. But, you know. Yeah. So that was season 24. I love competition shows. I do Hell's Kitchen cooking shows. So, you know. Unfortunately, the girl from Rocky Point, New York, who represented New York, got eliminated after the first service. So, you know. It's a win-lose. It was funny because the girl who Babe wanted to win Hell's Kitchen won, and the guy wanted to win Ink Master won. So, you know, maybe I can't pick fights, but I can pick who's going to win the season of... Speaking about who's going to win, the Academy Awards nominees are out. And apparently the Academy only thinks there's 6 movies that came out this year. Because... Guys, I love the Academy Awards. That's 2024. After I met Babe, that was the first time she met my mother, and she didn't run away. So, yeah. So this year, Sinners got 16 nominations. Wow. Okay. Best Picture. A lot of these movies I've never seen. A lot of these movies, of course, I've seen. Sinners, One Battle After Another, Marty Supreme, Frankenstein, and a bunch of other movies I've never heard of. Best Director, you got Best Actor, Timothy Chalamet, Leo, Ethan Hawke, Michael B. Jordan, Wagner Moura. Best Actress, Jessie Buckley, Rose Byrne, Kate Hudson, Emma Stone. Best Supporting Actor, Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn. Stellan Skarsgård, one of the Skarsgård family. I think he's the dad or the... Yeah, that's the dad. He's been in a lot of movies. Ellie Fanning for Best Supporting Actress. So, yeah, I love award seasons. I love, you know, like I said, I do fantasy stuff. So I got all the awards, so I think it's going to win Best Picture. You know, Best Picture is usually kind of something cheesy. Like I said it last time. Like a movie nobody's ever seen, you know. But one thing though, Train Dreams is a movie by Marissa McMahon, wife of Shane McMahon, which I think is awesome. Let's before we leave, so yeah, Academy Awards is on. MLB, NFL, you got Coach of the Year, Assistant Comeback Player of the Year, Offensive Player and Defensive Rookie Offensive. So yeah, a lot of awards coming up. Royal Rumble's coming up. I do want to see. Let's see. Let's go to SmackDown Live results. See what's happened. Let's go. I don't really care. Come on, why? Why can't I just go click on this and it just gives me the let's see. Okay. So breaking news. Carmelo Hayes issued a open challenge. Ilya Dragunov answered, and Carmelo Hayes won. So I think that's the only thing for the. Yeah. So whatever. I like when results are done, but it's been almost an hour. I can smell the dinner. I love it. Zuffa Boxing happening. Caleb Walsh is the headliner, young kid from Ireland. Dana White's prodigy. So guys, girls, boys, and ladies, let me get the theme song to get out of here. I'm going to get out of here. Oh, by the way, before I get out of here, I know I say this every week. Following, guys. I'm getting a following, okay? I know it's not a lot, but it's 830 followers on Twitter. Still only like 18, 20 on YouTube, so please subscribe. Everybody's got a YouTube channel. Everybody's got a Gmail account. Go to subscribe. Brat Said That too on YouTube. So, go check out bodyslam.net, Instagram. I don't really use it, but you can follow me. You know, I like to talk. Everybody on the East Coast, be careful. It's going to snow. McGrady, be safe. But really, that's it. Nothing else we talked about. We can recap the show real quick. Try to get an hour on here. Rumble happening. We're going to be back on Monday. I got some huge news. I might break Monday's show. I need it to happen. But yeah, today is the anniversary of Hulkamania. We got Zuffa Boxing happening right now. UFC 324 tomorrow. I'll update you if I get the press credentials. Sunday, NFL Conference Championship. Broncos, Patriots, Rams, Seahawks. MLB, the offseason heating up. NBA, NHL, All-Star games are happening. So guys, that's it. It's been an hour. So, I'm heading off. I'm going to have some dinner. She's making pork chops. It sounds delicious. So, guys, as always, love yourself, love each other, and love sports. And follow me on Twitter. I mean, John Cena is, so you should be too. And I will be back on hopefully Monday. We'll see. Check me out. I'm going to probably do some stand-up next week. I'll update you on Monday. And, yeah. I love you guys. Have a great night. Be safe. Enjoy football. And get your shovels. Bye, guys.